Today we do celebrate this great feast day of the Immaculate Conception. We do believe that Mary, from the very moment of her conception, ever since she began to exist, that she was protected from the stain, from the damages of original sin. This is a great feast day not only for the whole church, the universal church, but also for the United States, the Catholic Church in the United States. We are dedicated to Mary under the title of the Immaculate Conception, so it's kind of like our national feast day. What this day is all about is that, again, Mary was conceived without sin. She was protected from the very moment of her beginning of her life, that she didn't have that stain, that problems of original sin. And the reason for it, of course, is the gospel we have today, that when the angel Gabriel came to her and asked her to be the mother of our Savior, that she said yes. You know, one of the problems of sin is that sin always does one thing. Whenever we have sin in our hearts, choose to do something bad, choose to be sinful, sin always takes away some of our freedom. That's one of the effects of sin. It takes away freedom. Now, if you think about it, just like a little way, if you just say one little white lie here, and somebody asks another question, and you have to say another lie, and then another lie, then that kind of box you into a corner. You don't have the freedom that you once had. You sort of get yourself stuck and kind of boxed in a corner. Or we just think of something major, like a criminal breaking into somebody's house and they get caught and get thrown into jail. Then, of course, they truly have their freedom taken away. They're in this small cell, and somebody else tells them when to get up and when they can leave and what they can eat. And so they do have their freedom taken away. Sin always does something to our freedom. And it always kind of impedes us, boxes us in, that weighs us down. It takes away some of our freedom. And that's why Mary was protected from that original sin, so that she did have a completely free heart, without anything or any pressure, any of that stuff getting in her way. So when the angel did go to her, she could just simply say yes, in a complete, trusting, free, loving way. So today is about Mary saying yes. But there's something going on even before all of that. It is God saying yes to Mary, that yes, this is his beloved child, and he protected her in that special way. He chose her from the very beginning that she would be the mother of our Savior. But also, this is God saying yes to you and to me. He's created each one of us as his son and his daughter. He calls each one of us his own. He wants us to be free. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to have that good life that he's created us to have. And, sadly, sometimes we humans choose something else. We can be mean to each other. Sometimes we do some damage to our own selves. We can be selfish and say bad words and lie and do terrible things, and it always weighs us down. It boxes us in. It takes away our freedom. God is not going to leave us in that space. That's why he gave us his very own son to be our Savior. He knows that we need him. We desperately need a Savior. And so he gives his very son, who will give his very life for us, poured out on that Good Friday, poured out on the cross, poured out with love for you and for me. This day is a great day because it is a day of yes. Mary is saying yes to the angel. God saying yes to Mary, and really God saying yes to you and me. That we are his own. We are created to have a good life. A life of faith, a life of service, a life of love. And he won't let those things that weigh us down and get in the way and box us in to have that last word. His yes, his power, his grace is what saves us and what we celebrate here this day. That he has had this plan of salvation. And Mary has a very special role in that plan of salvation. But it's also about you and me. Being saved. Being loved. For us to say yes back to our loving God.